Shoaib, it's great to see you. So
Nice to
good
see
to see you here in Swansea.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful city.
Beautiful.
And we've got some exciting news because you have decided to join Advance UK.
Correct.
And I'm so excited about that.
Thank you.
But before we get into that, actually, tell us a little bit about your journey.
So, well, thank you very much for doing this with me. Thank you. It means a lot. And my journey has been not very simple as a lot of people would think it would have been. So basically, I'm a Pakistani. I was born in Pakistan, in Karachi. It's the same place as Ben Habib was born. But obviously, he lived in Pakistan. I lived in Pakistan. I was a couple of weeks old. My parents were already in Saudi Arabia. So I was raised in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. And while I was growing up in Saudi Arabia, because in Saudi Arabia for international students, because we were foreigners there, you would need a place to go to university, as they did not have English universities back in those times. Obviously now they've got few and they're building now, but at that time they didn't had any English universities. So I had options. After completing my GCSEs and my A levels, I had options to go to America, Australia, anywhere in Europe, Canada, or UK.
And you came to the UK?
Yeah, I came to the UK, and I know a lot of people have said that. Oh, why would you come to the UK? But with UK, I've got I've got a connection with the British people, and I'll tell you where it started. When I was really young, I used to go to a swimming pool where I used to learn how to swim. And I remember one time me and my brother were swimming there, and we never used to have any lifeguards, and we did not know how to swim. See, I'm from the desert. I'm very far away from the water and everything else. But anyways, I was swimming there, and I slipped and I went in the deep part. And I remember myself as I thought I'm going to die, to be honest. But then this guy just jumped in, got me out of the water, saved me. And the first thing I look at him and I said, "Oh, thank you very much." He replied to me, and he was a British guy. So I think that he saved. So see, basically a British white man saved my life, even back in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
So yeah, so I think there was a bit of a connection, and we used to come to London a lot because even when I was very young, my grandfather's brother, he was married to he's passed away now a couple of years ago, but he was married to a white woman. So my grandmother. So basically, we call her grandmother. It's a cultural thing. Yeah. So yeah. My grandfather's brother's wife is white, and she's still alive. And she's my grandmother. I call her my grandmother. Yeah. So we used to come here and we used to meet up with her. So again, there was a lot of kindness from that white lady who was my grandmother. So she was very kind to me as well. So I have had, like I said, I have had a very good experience. So like God has dealt a very good hand. I would say for me, like starting from my parents to my siblings to my friends to my family, and to the amazing British white people, and I think that's what it was. I made that decision because I thought I'll see my grandparents a little bit more. I'll meet up with some of the people that I knew a little bit more. I still have a very good friend called Jason. We met in university and before university, like we.
So you came here for university.
Yeah.
And what did you study in university?
So in university, I did my bachelor's from Brunel University. That was in business marketing. I did that for 3 years. Went back to Saudi Arabia, by the way, because there are a lot of people who've said, oh, he came on a student visa and he stayed over. I never stayed over. Let me just make that very clear, right?
I love the fact that the left, think that we hate immigrants, and here I am sat with an immigrant, my friend.
I know.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I know.
And so yeah, you came to university, studied, and you've settled and lived here, and you've been through a lot, haven't you?
Yes.
You've been through a lot,
yes,
and still going through a lot now.
Yeah.
But what made you feel as if getting involved in politics certainly is a big thing, right?
Exactly.
You've got to be thick-skinned.
Yeah.
What was your kind of introduction into politics itself?
Yeah, that happened literally, believe it or not, overnight kind of thing. Because I remember when I completed my bachelor's, I said I went back to Saudi Arabia, and I used to talk to my friend Jason all the time, and he's a white British man. And every time I was talking to him, the only thing he would tell me that how he cannot feel comfortable working, and this is going back in 2016, 2017. He wasn't comfortable enough working with his colleagues, and I asked him why. He said because I wouldn't discuss much because obviously it's confidential, but there were things that there were a lot of Muslim men or women, and every time, because he was a manager, he would ask them to do something. Rather than doing it, they will become lazy, and what they would do, they will use the racism card.
Right,
They will go to the managers, they'll go to the higher up, the HR, and they'll say, oh look, guess what? I'm feeling anxious, I'm upset, I got depression, and they will ask why. They said, oh, this guy, this white guy, have been trying to be racist to me. And they'll be like, how is it that he's racist? They said, oh, because he's telling me to do this. And the thing is, it's the HR's fault as well. This is now the fault of the woke white liberals who've come here and you said, yeah, we hate the white people. They're white themselves, so I don't understand how does that work. But anyways,
they are what you accuse you of, and
exactly they are exactly. And that's how he lost his job because somebody labeled him a racist. They stopped his promotion that he was waiting for the last 4 or 5 years. And when that happened, that's when I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to the UK to do my masters. That's when I came back to the UK to do my masters in 2017. And I think, like you said, what was your entry? I never intended to be a political figure. I never intended to be I never wanted to go in politics. But I can tell you that I've got a lot of uncles in Pakistan and other places. They are very deep in politics. But I never interested me. So I came here just to see what was going on with my friend, and I thought that was, you know, my loyalty towards my friend, towards all the white people who've been nothing but kind to me. And my loyalty was, when if somebody who looks like me, somebody who's an immigrant like me, or even not an immigrant like me, who is saying white people are racist, you know, white people are this, I think it is my chance and it is my time to come out and say, you know what, no, white people are not racist. If they were racist, I'm an immigrant, look at my accent. I would be the first one, you know, when you say you have a firing line, I should be the first one to get fired from them. But I never did. I've been here 10 years now. So I thought there was me, let's say me repaying to the country, repaying to the white British people who have given me all the opportunities that I've got, all the amazing education that I've got. Like you said, you know, you could have gone anywhere. You chose England. I chose to come here. Right? Nobody asked me to come here. The Queen did not turn up to my house and say, you know, we need you here, Mr. Shoaib, please come to our UK and have the education. So I think, I came here to do that. And the more I was getting involved in it, and the more I was uncovering the corruption that there is, that every single person who looked like me, I'm talking about the Pakistanis, the Bengalis, the immigrants, legal, illegal, and also the people who were born in this country. You know, they've got generations living in here. And the only thing that these people have, you know, that I don't have in common with them, there's only one thing, because they look like me, they speak better than me because they were born, raised in this country. Obviously, they got the British accents. But the only thing that I have, they don't have, is I refuse to be a victim to that mentality, to be like, oh, you know, victimhood, racism, this and that. There has been time when I went, they talk about systematic racism. I have been to get jobs, and where people have said, oh, I didn't get the job because I was not white. The white man got the job. Yes, I have lost the job, but guess what? When I lost my job, I went for the feedback, and the feedback was, maybe you're not dressed properly, maybe you don't speak well, maybe you don't have the experience. I took it all in, and I worked on it. Like I said, I refused to be a victim, right? I could have sat there and could have said, oh, racism.
You don't absorb, you observe.
Exactly. So that's what I did. And the more I was looking into these things, the more I was seeing that there is a racism in the UK, and that is against the white people. The white British people are the ones who are facing racism left, right, and centre. And the worst thing is not only the ethnic minority, well, there is no minority basically. You guys are the minority, unfortunately, which shouldn't be the case in the UK. No. But anyways, like I said, it happened overnight, and this was it. So I started going on to some podcasts, some channels, and I remember I did a very first video. I only had one viewer. And when I checked who that viewer was, that was my mom sitting there listening to me in English.
God bless you, mom. God bless you, mom.
And it was my mom. Then every now and then my father will listen to what I had to say. Obviously, they never encouraged me, but at the same time, they never discouraged me as well. But you will see the problem that came thereafter when people from this country, the white general public, the British people, start picking up what I was saying, and they were agreeing to it. And that's when I started seeing, okay, you know what? Yes, I am saying something that means a lot. Before these people came in, these white British people started looking at my video, I had people from my own community, and all they were doing, oh, you're a freshie, you're a Paki, and these are my own people.
Your own people?
Yeah, my own community.
Your own
Muslims.
people, Muslims attacking you.
Attacking me, calling me a coconut. And you know what, the way they were attacking me, they were saying to me, oh, wait till one of these white people, one of them Tommy Robinson people sees it, you're going to get deported. But the problem is, I have met the white people. You know, I have met Voice of Wales, I have met you, I have met Tommy Robinson. You guys never wanted to deport me. But it is up to my own community. I'm talking about the Pakistanis and the Bengalis and the ethnic minorities who are trying their best since then up until now that they want me deported. They have been to the police. They have made complaint against me to the Pakistani embassy, calling me a racist, calling me an Islamophobe, which again is a fake term. I do not believe in Islamophobia.
Of course, it's not even a described word.
I will never. For me, it's a fake, made-up word, and you know, for people to debate about this term in Parliament, I feel like it's a joke. To be honest.
Well, let's talk about your political views, because as you know, Advance UK stands for nation state. You know, sovereignty, democracy, you know, real democracy, that is, and of course equality under the law. You know, these are key pillars, and I think they're very important. And so, what attracted you to join Advance UK? And you know, because you've been an activist and you've always spoken out on freedom of speech. I know I've seen you on marches, I've seen you on protests, I've seen you being attacked. I mean, you know, by the far left.
I think you were there. You were there when I got
I was there. I think I made a run for it. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But what's attracted you to Advance UK, and why do you think it's important to have an alternative political party, which we're brand new, by the way, as opposed to others that are currently out there right now?
So I know a lot of people disagree with me on this, but like I said, look, I'm not a politician, right? I haven't got a clue. I was a
that's
guy.
good. That's good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, and that's my reason. Probably totally different to what people would expect me to say. But in all honesty, as I said, I was just a guy who was living a good life before I started doing all this. Like I said, I won't even call myself an activist, because what I have done is just spoken my mind. And I know a lot of people are thinking it, but they are afraid to say it, not because of anything else, but because of the way the system has been designed.
The censorship and cancellation.
I think more than the censorship and cancellation is the arrest. The arrest
absolutely.
being made on these general public, these patriots and these British citizens who are just nothing but they are just worried about what's going on.
So you have an immigrant that is supporting British citizens
100%.
that have been persecuted. I mean, it's a funny old world, isn't it?
And the reason why I joined Advance, because there is one thing that I've seen, and obviously that was the British values.
Right.
And I know people will say, oh, you're an immigrant, what do you know about British values? You're absolutely right, I don't know nothing. And the reason why I came to the UK is I wanted to experience the British values. Unfortunately, in the last couple of years, all I've been experiencing is the Pakistani values, or or the Bengali values. Like literally, I have experienced everything else but the British values. So I think one of the main thing was that obviously Ben Habib, I'm a big fan, right? I'm a huge fan of that guy. Like I said, he was born in Karachi and I was born in Karachi.
Same place.
Same place, and I thought that's a really good thing. But again, he's very well spoken. He's a knowledgeable guy. He's an amazing. Like when you look at Ben Habib, you don't see any personal agenda. The guy speaks really well, and he gives time to everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the main reasons. Like I said, I'm a general public. For me, I don't care about the politics. I don't care about who's doing what's happening. For me, I need to connect to the person who's leading or running a party on a personal note, on a personal level. So that was one thing. And second thing, obviously Richard Shaw, part of your party as well. These are the people that when I have had issues, I was getting in touch with them, and believe it or not, they were helping me.
Yeah.
And these are issues when I had problems with the police, when I did not know how to deal with the social media. Like I said, I am literally as anybody else who's watching this and saying that, we're no politicians. How do we make the decision? You're absolutely right. Don't make the decision on what I am saying or what Richard is saying, or anybody else is saying. Make the decision and see which one of them works best for you. And for me, obviously, I used to be a UKIP supporter, but then in the beginning, yes, UKIP, I used to talk Ben. Ben an amazing guy, right? He used to speak to him, and I'm talking about the Ben from UKIP, not
of
Ben.
Course, yeah.
So when I was talking to him, he would help me, but I think he got really busy, and a lot of people got busy. But then when I went to Richard Shaw, which is part of Advance UK, and when I went to him, he actually helped me. He sat down with me. He did emails for me. We were talking about back and forth things. So that communication is what people like us need. And I'm an immigrant. I can relate to anybody who don't have any friends. I've got no friends. I've got I've got a lot of friends now, but I don't have anybody that I can call up and say, hey man, I'm getting arrested. Can you guys gather? I didn't have that. But when I've seen Richard being this much helpful, so I was like, you know what, there is something about this party that I can relate to, that I know they are going to be there for the general public, for the people who are actually suffering. We are not criminals. We are we're just concerned citizens. What is going on with
so you are standing up for British values as an immigrant, which some people are going to find very confusing, and which is why I love this interview, by the way. What would you say to people who are firstly politically homeless right now? Some who feel they've been let down by reform, the changes, the structure, the constitutional changes that they've made, and some of the infighting and the way that some of their members, and in particular those senior figures, have been treated. I mean, if they're looking for something, what would you say to them?
I think the first thing would be they need to see how local, if they're local, like for me, being in Swansea, I have not seen any UKIP support. Like there is absolutely, I have not seen them come in here. And I think that was another thing that I was worried about, but I've seen you here come in here, and I've seen the moment Ben Habib started the party, they literally addressed each and every continent. They talk about Ireland, they talk about Scotland, then talk about Wales, they talk about England. So this is one thing, because yes, a lot of people do focus on England. Let's be real.
It's the Westminster bubble.
Exactly. Everybody is there. Everybody can reach there. What about people like us? Obviously I'm an immigrant, so I think I can't really relate to it, but there are Welsh.
You know us Welsh are immigrants as well. You do know that, don't you?
I would have said. I think I'm a bigger immigrant.
But listen, it's great because here in Wales, our support is growing exponentially. More and more people are joining daily. And I've been humbled by being given the task by Ben to grow the membership and recruit, and so this is part of it. I'm really excited that you've joined and a part of Advance UK here in Wales, and I know that we're going to be doing a lot more in the future. And if there's one thing you would want to say to people who are looking to join a party right now who feel disillusioned with the political establishment, what would you say to them?
I think for them, like I said, the first thing they need to see how much local support that they have got from the party that they would like to support. That's one thing. And second thing is, you need to know if somebody is claiming they're going to do something as a political party, how much reality to it is got. I can sit and I can tell you, hey man, I can make you rich, I can give you £1 million.
Yeah.
But I'm the guy, I don't even have £10. So you need to think, how can he gonna give me £1 million when he doesn't have money for himself?
Yeah.
So I think being realistic, being and yes, look at the agenda, look at everything that the party is saying that we are going to do. This is what we are standing for, and challenge them. I have challenged everybody. I have challenged all the parties. I have questioned everything, and that's why I come to a conclusion saying, yeah, you know what, I want to join Advance UK, because a lot of things that I said I've challenged. It has been met with either I know what has happened or what is going to happen, but I've always have had an answer. Ben Habib have done numerous interviews, podcasts. He's been on spaces, he have given all this, and he have answered a lot of the questions. I'm sure there will be a lot of questions that might be coming up in the future, but I know for a fact, and I hope it stays that way, that a lot of the Advanced UK member, along with Ben Habib, he will be answering more questions. Absolutely. Because I think that's what we need. We got a lot of time, but the thing is, look at this party, look at others, compare them, and see which one is feel right to you. For me, this felt right. I got nothing against any other political party. Everybody's doing their thing. But this is where I stand. Advanced UK is for me.
Well, so thank you ever so much.
No worries,
it's great to have you on board. Thanks for taking time to
interview
as well. And let's make sure we rescue this nation, gain back the freedom of speech, our sovereignty, and equality under the law, because that's what we need.
We need that.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard. Man, thank you very much.